Well, welcome back to the channel again. It's Monday afternoon. We just got back from the supplies. We got us a brand new roll of drip tape. We bought us a box of onion sets. We're gonna be getting them in the ground hopefully today if we get time. We're gonna get the rest of this plastic laid. Got the tractor parked under the tree. Field's ready to go, dry as a bone. 79 degrees. It's March 4th. It's quite odd. And I feel like we should be planting corn, but we'll get some beds made anyway. Hadn't talked about this yet, but I bought a whole box of onion sets. I got reds and candies. Got about 1,000 of them. Hopefully we'll get them in the ground this evening. I am first time I've ever grown onions. Kind of excited. They sold really well for me last year when I bought them in, but we'll get them in the ground this evening. Hopefully we get that on video. Probably be doing it in the dark like usual. I've learned the hard way on these. You gotta cut gently or you'll take your box blade and you'll cut all the way through and you'll ruin a whole layer of drip tape. Don't be dumb like me. Most of my lessons are learn the hard way. I gotta be able to speak first. Now, if you're new to this whole vegetable thing, like me, you'll be splicing a roll of drip tape and splicing a roll of plastic in together for the first time. So you'll have to bear with me. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'll be real honest with you. Don't litter, kids. Throw your trash away. That's a good move. Now, if I'm not mistaken, on this drip tape, there's two sides of it. One side has blue lines, and I think you put the blue lines up top. I think. The last roll that was on here, I did not put it on here, but that's the way it was, so that's the way I'm gonna do it. That goes for the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. wish a guy could find a way to reuse this stuff. This stuff's too dang expensive to throw away every year, it seems like, but you just have to. That's just part of it. Let me grab you. These rain flows have a pretty neat system on them. When you're running this drip tape, this piece here locks this from spinning, so you don't spin all your spin your whole roll out when you're going down the road or transporting. Let's see here. See how it locks it? But if you pull back on that, it'll let it freewheel. Let me get you moving. So when you run it through this back one first, and it'll let you pull it. Then you run it over that top one, and then you run it down through your tube into your bed. Man, it is windy out here. I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. We got a wind advisory today. Gust of 30. Lake wind advisory, that is. Looks like we're coming out the other end. We'll give it a little more. See, it comes out under here. We'll be ready to go and ready to splice it in. I just picked up a whole bag of these connectors, about 75 cents a piece now. They splice that into the drip tape, into the piece that's already on the bed, or you got to break in the field and it's leaking all over the place. They're just a little double barbed connector. You're here working with a guy at his extreme capabilities. I've never done this before, but you're here for the ride. We're gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try. Hopefully our drip tape connector holds together. The drip tape connector did not hold together. So now I'm going to have to poke a hole in the plastic, pull a whole bunch out, and then sod staple it down, then come back and fix it later. We'll try this again, hopefully it holds. If you're a lone ranger like me, get you some sod staples. You can run it through your drip tape and it'll hold your drip tape while you take off with your at the beginning of your pass. Make sure and pull them back up because they don't rot that fast. They'll get in your tire. That was a poor cut. That's a little better. This knife blade's about junk. I hate poking that big of a hole in the plastic that lets weeds come up through there and stuff, but I don't really get much of an option. If I don't like it, I can get some junk plastic and just shove a whole bunch of plastic down in it, a whole bunch of this biodegradable that I cut off the end of the row or something and shove in there. The big thing is you just got to remember to get all of them connectors out of there, being almost $1 a piece, 75 cents a piece. You got to get them before you throw away all your drip tape. My row didn't quite fill out up here at the end, which is not optimal. If you look at it closely, it's kind of lopsided. It'll be all right. I'll just have to be careful on how I plant into that row. Well, I'm here behind the house. There's the house. We got our box of candy onions. We got some reds in there too. We got it started on these already. I actually forgot my camera at the house. We decided to abandon the old bed that we had laid out for these. It got wet and the dirt was hard. I didn't want to plant in the hard dirt. So I tilled me up a pass with the tiller tractor and laid a brand new bed all the way down. Till it's full or we get dark. And I would say this camera is going to get dark before I get too dark to see. I'd say the four-wheeler lights will come on because there's a chance of rain coming in tonight. It's supposed to cool back off. It is March 4th, so it probably will cool back off from a beautiful 79 degrees today. So I'm going to put you guys on time lapse and you guys are going to watch me plant a whole bunch of candy onions. I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse. It's gonna be a slow, grueling process, me doing this by myself, but we'll get done eventually. Well, 19 beds. That's gonna wrap us on laying plastic beds for now. Hopefully we don't have to lay anymore. I don't think we will. And we're going to head to the house with the, well, we're gonna get the tractor to the house, and we're gonna get the car to the house, and then we're gonna plant some onions. Well, I'm here behind the house. There's the house. We got our box of candy onions. We got some reds in there too. We got it started on these already. I actually forgot my camera at the house. We decided to abandon the old bed that we had laid out for these. It was just, it got wet and the dirt was hard. I didn't want to plant in the hard dirt. So I tilled me up a pass with the tiller and tractor and laid a brand new bed all the way down. We're gonna plant till it's full or we get dark. And I would say this camera is going to get dark before I get too dark to see. I'd say the four-wheeler lights will come on because there's a chance of rain coming in tonight. It's supposed to cool back off. It is March 4th, so it probably will cool back off from a beautiful 79 degrees today. So I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, and you guys are gonna watch me plant a whole bunch of candy onions. Well, welcome back. Day 2 of planting onions. It did not rain last night. The ground is still fairly dry. I worked this out after dark last night, so it wouldn't dry out much. We got another bed laid after dark. I have a little bit of clips of that from last night, and I'll probably just throw this in another video. But I'm gonna plant another bed of onions. I overbought a little bit. I told the guy that, I'm like, hey, I got a 70-foot bed, and just give me enough to fill that up. I want red onions, and I want white candy onions. He's like, okay, I'll get you what you need. Goodness, the dog choking up on something over there. So he gave me enough to fill up almost 3 beds of onions. So here we are, we're planting onions.